What is up today, guys? It's Mystic Dreamcatcher, and today we have Big Brother Season 2 of the Total Drama Island contestants. I brought back everyone and anyone who did not play in the first one, along with two people back at it. Alright, Future Mystic here. I meant to have Trent in this, but whenever I was doing the characters and stuff, I accidentally put in Noah again instead of Trent, and that's how it is. Trent is gone, but not forgotten. So, yeah, we have 3 returning players. Anyway, enjoy the video. For a second chance at the $500,000, Cody and Heather back to win it. Go ahead and comment down one boy and one girl you believe is gonna win. If you guys like this, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Alright, let's get it. Opening HoH. The house guests eagerly wait in the front of the house where they see 13 voting cards spread across a long table. Chris informs them that the first head of household will be determined by a house vote. Each house guest steps up to a voting card and casts their votes for who they want to be the first head of household. Alright, so they're not even doing a challenge for head of household. They're just doing a vote. And the votes are Heather, Cody. That's kind of cool that the 2 previous people are the first 2 to get voted on. Ezekiel, Gwen, Harold, Beth, Bridget, Heather, Alejandro, and Katie votes for Sadie. Harold. There are multiple house guests with 2 votes. A tiebreaker vote occurs to see who is head of household. Alejandro wins head of household. This is the nomination ceremony. Alejandro puts up Noah and Bridget. That makes so much fucking sense, it hurts. Eels. Here are the 6 competitors going in the veto challenge. For those unaware, a veto is when the head of household, along with the 2 people put up for eviction and 3 random, all play in a veto competition. Whoever wins has a chance and a choice to take one of the people up for eviction off and make them safe. House guests enter the backyard where they see a large lake of honey underneath a wooden bridge. At the front of the lake are different colored jars. At the end of this lake is an enormous bed covered in hundreds of pillows. The first house guest to collect 6 veto bears that are hidden inside the colored pillows and place them inside their glass jars win the golden power veto. Good job, Noah. Very nice, Noah. I'm glad to see you popping off with the veto. And you're taking yourself off of eviction. He obviously uses on himself, and Alejandro puts up Cody as a replacement. Eviction voting. Cody, Bridget, Cody, 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 Bridget, Cody, Bridget, Cody, Bridget. A vote of 6-4, Cody is the first house guest evicted. I bet Alejandro said some shit with Justin saying Cody already had a chance, it's our turn. Without a doubt, Sierra's disappointed. Majority rules. The house guests stand in their individual booths in the backyard. Chris will ask a question. They each must answer the question the way they think the rest of the house will respond. If they answer with the majority, they advance to the next round. If they answer with the minority, they are eliminated. The last house guest remaining becomes the new head of household, and I was laughing because Ezekiel won. Him winning is overall a surprise, but especially in a questioning comp. Very nice, Ezekiel. He must have been paying attention. He said, nah, not this time. Let's see who he puts up. Eva and Katie are both put up for elimination. Here are the 6 players competing in the veto. Very strong competitors. License to veto. The house guests each stand at the respective colored podiums in front of a garage door. Each round, the garage door will rise and a very state license plates will be shown. They must find the license plate that combine to make a word related to the Big Brother game. If they are certain they have found the correct license plates, they will honk their horns to give the correct answer and earn a certain amount of points. If they answer incorrectly, they are eliminated. The house guests with the most points at the end win the golden power veto, and a challenge like this, I definitely see him winning. Second time, good job, Noah. Now, will he save either of the 2? He does not use his power. The final nominees are Eva and Katie. Eviction voting. Eva, Katie, Eva, Katie, Eva, 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 Katie, Eva. By a vote of 6-3, Eva, you are the second person evicted. Damn, well there goes her character development. Look, Eva could have had this, but she must have got caught up in her anger again, especially being enclosed with these people 24 hours a day, 100 days of the year. That's rough being with Eva. I probably would have voted her ass too. Alien abduction. The house guests enter the backyard to see 2 podiums with buzzers on them, each surrounded by various alien statues. Each round, Chris will ask a question based on various items that have been removed from the house the past night during strange alien visits. 2 house guests will face off, the winning one will move on, and must choose the next 2 to face off. While losing, one is eliminated. The last house guest remaining becomes the new head of household. I guess good job on the aliens. Congratulations, Bridget. I think you deserve to win head of household, and I'm interested to see who exactly you put up. And Bridget puts up Alejandro and Sadie. That makes actually a little bit of sense, no cap, very nice. Here are the 6 playing in the veto. Garden of Veto. The house guests enter the backyard to see 6 troughs of dirt. The house guests must each lie in them for no more than an hour. The house guest that leaves their trough closest to the 1 hour mark wins the golden power of veto. Congratulations, Alejandro. I don't know what kind of internal clock you got, but I can see him winning this, especially with plot armor. He obviously uses it on himself, and Beth is the replacement. The final nominees are Beth and Sadie. Surely Sadie and Katie can go around convincing, right? Beth, Sadie, Sadie, Beth, Sadie, Beth, Beth, Sadie. It is a tie. That means Bridget will be able to choose whoever she wants to leave, and she chooses Sadie. Wow, fuck. The 2 people brought back got eliminated really early on. Maybe that'll be a learning factor for anyone else who comes back to play again. Living on the edge. The house guests are mounted on the ledge of a building that will gradually lean forward. That last house guest standing on the ledge becomes the new head of household, and I can see him doing this, and it would be funny. Congratulations, Harold. Very nice. This is one of the things I could see you actually accomplishing. He puts up Gwen and Ezekiel. That's kind of unique. I wonder why Gwen. Maybe she's a pawn. Here are the 6 competing. Inside a hockey rink, the house guest will shoot a puck into a net, hoping to get a low number. The house guest with the highest number each round is eliminated and can claim one of the 6 prizes. Any house guest eliminated after a prize is claimed can keep their new prize or steal someone else's. The house guest that holds the golden power veto at the end wins it. Ezekiel gets a red unitard for a week. Gwen receives a letter. Beth gets 10 grand. Noah gets a Hawaii holiday, and Harold wins the power veto. He won back to back. He does not use it, which means the final nominations are Gwen and Ezekiel. Gwen, 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 Ezekiel. By a vote of 6-1, Gwen is evicted from the Big Brother household. I see. House guests each stand their individual booths. Each round, Chris will ask a question about various phone calls that the house heard last night. If they are correct, they move on. If they are incorrect, they are eliminated. The last house guest remaining becomes the new head of household, and the queen of eavesdropping, and a perfect title for Rude Awakening. Congratulations, Heather, finally making herself known. Head of household, safe, and puts up whoever she wants. Obviously, Alejandro is safe, and she decides to put up Bridget and Noah. Here are the 6 competing for veto. The house guests must run down the lanes, jump over the rolling pin, retrieve onions, chop them up so they fit in a box, then make their way back to the box to stuff the onions inside. The house guest whose box weighs the most at the end wins the golden power of veto. Surprisingly very good at jumping and chopping onions. Congratulations, Justin. Very nice. Letting himself be known as not a second Alejandro. He does not use his power of veto. Eviction voting. Bridget, 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 Noah, Noah, Bridget. By a vote of 4-2, Bridget is evicted from the household. I guess that would make a little sense, maybe a little bit too early, but at the same time, she is very well liked. The house guests sit in their individual booths that are each set up to look like a diary room. Each round, Chris will read a quote spoken by one of the past evictees in the diary room. The first house guest to buzz in and give a correct answer can eliminate someone else. The last house guest remaining becomes the new head of household. Extremely good job, Harold. I love to see you actually getting this fucking dubs. Chad moment. Let's go, Harold. Rising to the top. Second time being the kingpin and the head of household. Katie and Ezekiel. Here are the 6 participating. Haunted yard. The house guests enter the backyard to see very spooky displays on different items. My bad. Each round they must estimate how much of a certain item there is in the backyard. They can then choose to either stay or fold, which could either result in them being eliminated, earning a point, or simply move on to the next round. The house guest that earns 3 points first, or the last house guest standing, wins the golden power veto. Noah calculating this shit, hella winning, very nice, the brains coming through. He does not use the power of veto. The final house guests are Katie and Ezekiel. Ezekiel has already survived this once. Can he talk that shit again? Katie. By a vote of 5-0, Katie is eliminated and evicted from the household. Alright, Ezekiel, I don't know what you're doing. See, what I think is they all know or think that they could beat him if it comes to the final 2, and I think that's why he's slipping by. Because he is quote-unquote not the winner type thing. King of the Jungle. House guests must hang on swinging vines that periodically slam into walls. The last house guest remaining on their vine becomes the new head of household. And this is definitely an Alejandro challenge. I can for sure see him winning this. These are those that are safe. He puts up Ezekiel and Noah for elimination. Here are the 6 competing. House guests enter the backyard, which is decorated to look like the surface of Mars. Attached to a rope, they must glide back and forth between 2 platforms to complete a puzzle. The first house guest to complete this puzzle wins the power of veto, and I think they won because this is not a strength challenge. This is brains. Very nice, Beth. I wonder if she'll save either of them. She does not use the power of veto. The final nominations are Ezekiel and Noah. Noah, Ezekiel, Noah. By a vote of 3-1, Noah is evicted from the household. What is this, Ezekiel? The final 6, congratulations. Very nice, and everyone here has won something. Sadie and Katie didn't do shit. Big Brother headlines. House guests stand in between 2 steps. Each round, Chris reads a fictional headline. The house guest must guess which house guest America thought the headline would be about by stepping up or down. If they are incorrect, they are eliminated. The last house guest remaining becomes the new head of household. And this is the part of this series where you think someone is out next and then suddenly they win HoH. Congratulations, Beth. Very nice. She puts up Heather and Justin. Okay, Beth. Here are the 6 competing. Veto in a haystack. House guests enter the backyard to find 6 piles of hay, each opposite a podium with a buzzer. A house guest must jump over bales of hay to find 2 veto symbols hidden in their pile of hay. The first house guest to find both symbols, then press their button, wins the golden power veto. Very good job, Justin. I don't know how it would look watching him go through big ass things of hay, but he found them. Good job. He obviously saves himself, and Beth nominates Harold as a replacement. Heather, Harold. 2-1, Harold, you are evicted from the household. 6th place, very nice. I bet he probably caused a lot of little bit of drama, probably planted a lot of seeds in people's head. But at the end, he just was not so talkative in terms of becoming friends with those around him. So the final 5, 1 in 5 chance at winning this. Alejandro, Heather, Beth, Ezekiel, and Justin. Days go by. The house guests enter a carnival-themed backyard to find a various wooden ramp with different number slots at the top of them. Each round they will be given an event that happened this season. They must recall which day that event happened and roll a ball up the ramp into that. The farther away they were, the more penalty points they earned. The house guest with the least amount of penalty points at the end becomes the new head of household. Fucking Alejandro, definitely winning something like this. Congrats. Beth and Ezekiel are put up for elimination, and I don't think either of them can win veto. Obviously, everyone plays. Rockabye Veto. One at a time, the house guests enter the backyard, which is decorated with a baby-themed items. In front of them is a screen that will display a baby each round. They must determine the two house guests that are the parents of this baby. The house guest that correctly determines each pair of parents and the fastest time wins the golden power veto. What? What kind of challenge is this? Good job, Beth, but how? What? She obviously saves herself and Alejandro has no one else to put up there but Justin. Justin 2-0. Justin is evicted. What? The final four. Freeze frame. The three competing house guests stand between two colored areas, each labeled with the word fact or fiction. Each round, Chris will read a statement about the various pictures that appeared on the memory wall earlier today. The house guests must decide if the statement is fact or fiction. If they are correct, they earn a point. The house guests with the most points at the end become the new head of household. You know who has lots of plot armor. Come on here, Heather. You won it again, and I could definitely see her making final three no matter what in this game. She puts up, obviously, Ezekiel or Beth, but if one of them wins this, Alejandro has to be put up. Heather can't vote, which means Alejandro would be voted out either by Ezekiel or Beth. Everyone is gonna play since they're eligible. Stairway to veto. House guests enter the backyard to see 4 staircases that lead to 4 different brothers. Each house guest stand at the bottom of the staircase with the most red clues on each step and put the name that applies to each clue on the step. The first house guest to readily place each name and press their buzzer wins the final golden power veto. Fuck! Alejandro got it. He obviously doesn't use it. Ah, fuck. Ezekiel is evicted. The final 3. Beth getting hella character development. She's the Cody of this. There are 3 parts to the final HoH competition. One person will win the first part, the second person will win the second part, and whoever wins the third part is the last head of household, and guaranteed final 2. On a wing and a prayer, the final 3 house guests stay on the wobbling wings of an airplane. The last house guest remaining on their wings wins part 1 of the final HoH competition and will advance to part 3. Alejandro fucking wins this. You know how it is. He could definitely do something like this. BB Knockout. One at a time, the 2 losers of part 1 enter the backyard to see 13 wooden cutouts of the 13 original house guests. Each round, they must knock down all but the HoH and their final nominees of a specific week's eviction. Once they have done so for all 10 evictions, their time is recorded. The house guest with the faster time wins part 2 of the final HoH. Heather wins, which means Beth has no shot at HoH and her ass is gone. You already know what's gonna happen. Alejandro won this, and obviously he chooses to evict Beth, which means the final 2, Alejandro and Heather. Now we are gonna go to the jury voting. Here are the 7 jury members voting for the winner. Alejandro and Heather, watch the jurors vote. Heather, 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 Heather. Alejandro. By a vote of 6-1, the winner is Heather. Congratulations! Beth is voted America's favorite, which makes a lot of sense. Congratulations, Heather, to go up there with Izzy. You are the winner. Alright, so this is kind of like a little bit kind of like World Tour, and I'm not too upset with it. I love Heather being able to talk shit and still get away with it, only to be like the protagonist against Alejandro. Alejandro had 6 total wins. He basically carried Heather to the finals thinking it was strategic, but he didn't know he was carrying the person who was gonna beat his ass again, dumbass. But it's very nice. Alright, well this was kind of dope. If you guys like this, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Have a good day.